Hello, friends. Let's do some Q4 planning, shall we? Q4 is the busiest season for pretty much everyone. There are the holidays, some schools have testing. It's just a lot happening. And if you want to be prepared with your Teachers Pay Teacher store, then this episode is for you. I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process for how to make sure you get the most out of Q4 while also taking time for what matters most, your family, taking time to rest. All of that is just as important. Rest is productive. We're going to talk about what seasonal items you should be thinking about in Q4, the site-wide sale that happens on Teachers Pay Teachers in Q4, Black Friday is in Q4, Cyber Monday. There's so many things going on. So let's dive in. Step one is always, anytime I am planning for something, whether it's the next month, the next quarter, the next year, I look at my data because it's really hard to make a decision without data. You want to look at data over drama. And what I mean by that is maybe Q3 didn't go as well as you had hoped. Maybe you kind of ghosted your store during Q3 because back to school is Q3. For many of you, and maybe you are still a full-time teacher in the classroom and it just gets crazy. And I get it. Back to school is crazy for me, for my kids, and I'm not even a teacher, and we do hybrid homeschool. So it's just a crazy season. And so if it didn't go quite like you wanted, it's okay. Don't get in the drama of it, the emotions of it. Look at the data. So if you are a brand new seller, you may not have data yet, and that's okay. But if you have been selling for some time, TPT has so many good data points inside of your dashboard. So pull that up. And the things that I would look at are, what are your top sellers? What is the number one top seller? Maybe the top 5. Why do you think those were top sellers? Is it because that's all that's in your store? Or is it because it was a back to school seasonal item? Or is it just a really good product? And that means you should probably make that into a product line or a bundle. So it's going to vary depending on what your data looks at. But look at, what are your top sellers? What are your views like? Are you getting views? If not, that probably means that you need to work on your titles, your keywords. Can you optimize those for SEO, for search engine optimization? If you're getting the views, but you're not getting the sales, then you need to look at your previews and your descriptions and your thumbnails. Is it a product that people want? Do you actually have enough views to say and to make a decision either way? There are varying answers for this as to how many views before you make a decision, but at least 100 views before you start making any type of decision. And by decision, I mean, like, is this just not a product that you need to go down as far as like a product line, or do you need to look at the price? There are lots of different things that you can do. And I actually cover all of that in my program, the Resource Academy, what different data points mean and what decisions you should make based off of those data points. But look at your data. See what your data is telling you, what story it's telling you. And then you want to make some goals based on that data. So if you have a really hot seller and it wasn't necessarily a seasonal thing, like a back to school thing, can you make a goal for Q4 for making more of those things? So let's say, for example, you have a middle school ELA escape room that is selling like hotcakes. Can you make more of those and make it into a product line, whether it is more ELA escape rooms or whether it is different types of activities and you have like an ELA middle school bundle? There's lots of different ways that you could do it. Maybe it was a particular topic. So I don't know topics in middle school ELA. I don't know why I went with that example, but I'm just going to say like grammar. Maybe it was a grammar escape room. And maybe it was the grammar piece. So maybe you need to make more grammar things. So it's kind of going to be up to you. But if it was an escape room, for me, I would think it would be the escape room aspect, the fun, engaging escape room. So make more escape rooms, make a product line of middle school ELA escape rooms, and then bundle those together. So make a goal for Q4. How many of those do you think you can make? 1 a week? I feel like that's probably pretty good. So by January 1st, that would be, the end, or December 30th would be the end of Q4. How many do you think you can make, taking into consideration the holidays, the crazy that happens as we are in full school mode, all the things? All right. If you don't have like a really hot seller, then I would suggest just making a variety of things. So think about, and this is actually going to be step 3, think about some seasonal things that you can make in Q4. And maybe those might turn into your top sellers that when you look at Q1, your data back from Q4, you're like, oh, my seasonal stuff is selling really well. Maybe I need to make a seasonal bundle of all of the holidays. So if you don't have a top seller, then let's move into step 3, which is seasonal and timely products. So some of the things that you could be thinking about for Q4, Halloween, that's coming up like right away. So get those products out, but it doesn't have to be out for like a month for it to sell. You can put out a Halloween product on Halloween day and it could still sell. Okay. I've had that happen. I actually have random holidays sell all the time. So as soon as you have them created, go ahead and put them out. I just had, I'm recording this in August, and I just had a Valentine's activity sale. So don't like hoard them and wait. You can go ahead and list them. But if you haven't gotten anything created and you want to think about what's happening right now, Halloween, fall activities, obviously Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, winter break, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's. If you are middle or high school, and typically those, especially high school, they will get a new class in January. So back to school things will be popular again. So all about me's or first day of school activities. So all of those things, even Valentine's, you can go even at Valentine's Day. So President's Day, Black History Month, there's so many different activities that you could think of seasonally and go ahead and have those prepared for when it's time for people to actually buy those. Another thing to think about is if you're doing any kind of marketing. So we're going to talk about marketing in a little bit, but like if you're doing Pinterest, for Pinterest, you do need to start pinning seasonal items a few weeks before, like 6 to 8 weeks before, for those pins to actually like take off. So that is something to think about with seasonal items. So if you are big into Pinterest and that's like one of your main sources of marketing, then do be thinking about, okay, it's the start of Q4. I probably need to be thinking about like winter break, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, those kinds of holidays. So that is the foundation. That is what I would get started with: setting some goals, looking at your data, thinking ahead about seasonal resources. Next up is to work on some updates. So this is for TPTers who already have a store, they already have products. I wouldn't spend 100% of your time on new products if you have listed products in the past, but you didn't list them the right way. If you have products already in your store, a majority of the product is done, right? Like the product is probably high quality, but maybe you didn't do all of your 3 thumbnails, or maybe you didn't do SEO titles for them or descriptions or a preview. Take some time and go back and update all of those because they're already in your store. You want to make sure they are optimized. I know that this is not fun. Okay. I actually just did this maybe like a year ago now. I updated all 300 resources in my store because I didn't upload them the right way the first time. I knew how to upload them. I was just wanting to hurry and get them out there. And I noticed my sales started dropping with the landscape of TPT. It's not saturated, but there is competition, and you can't just throw up, a screenshot of your resource as the cover photo and expect it to sell. And I see that a lot. So you want to make sure that the products that you already have, if you already have them, are optimized. Spend some time, kind of map out in Q4 for October, November, December, how much of your time, how many hours do you have per week? Maybe you have 6 hours per week. You're working 3 days, 2 hours. Or maybe you're working, 1 hour every day after school for 6 days and you take Sunday off, whatever it is. How many hours do you have per week? I would probably spend 80% of my time on new products and then 20% going back and updating old products for a few reasons. One, you always want to be adding new products to your store. And number 2, I know updating products isn't fun and you don't want to get bogged down. Now, some of you, this is just a suggestion. Some of you may want to do it all at one time. That's what I did. I am if something's hard, I just need to get it all done. I hate dragging it out. That's just me personally. So it's going to depend on your style. But for me personally, it was looming over my head for months and months that I needed to update my store. I am telling all these people how to do TPT, but I'm not even walking the walk, and I need to walk the walk. So finally, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And I did all 300 resources. Now, I did hire a VA to help me. If you can hire a VA, then fabulous. I think that's a great investment of your TPT earnings, reinvestment into your business. If not, that's okay. Just do it however you can get it done, but make a goal and write it down. I'm going to update this many products in Q4, whether it's all of your old products or 20 old products. make a goal and try to stick to it, because updating those old products is so important, because you already have them in your store. You already took the time to make them. Don't just let them rot away and nobody find them because you didn't upload them the right way. Now let's talk about sales, site-wide sales, and then there's also Black Friday. So typically Teachers Pay Teachers has a site-wide sale at the end of November, early December. You never know the date until closer to the time they'll announce it, but you want to make sure that your store is ready. The first thing that you want to do, that I would personally suggest doing today, is to go into your dashboard, into the marketing section where it says throw a sale, and there's going to be a box you can check so that you're automatically enrolled in every single site-wide sale. I would do that no matter what, because a lot of times I won't check my email or I'll forget, and then my store won't be on sale. And then I'm like, oh, I would absolutely recommend being in every site-wide sale and checking that box so that you're automatically enrolled. It just makes it easier. So do that today. But some things that you might want to do to get your store ready is have those seasonal products ready. A lot of people during the site-wide sale, for that one particularly, are buying holiday items because it's late November, early December. They're buying holiday. If you are high school or middle school, they might be buying like end of semester things like a final exam. My final exams sell really well during those times. Even getting prepared for the new semester. If you are elementary, it's going to be a lot of seasonal things. It's also going to be a lot of, because teachers are tired, right? By December, we're like, when is winter break happening? So it's going to be a lot of like no prep, print and go stuff. Also sub plans, because that's kind of like sick season, right? Teachers get sick. Sub packets are a great thing to have ready for the site-wide sale. And another thing is just make sure that your resources, especially those older ones, are all optimized so that your store is all ready to go. So one thing you might want to do, let's say that you've been on TPT for a while, you did not list your stuff the right way. I would highly recommend taking my program, even if you've been on TPT a while. I get this a lot. I've been selling on TPT for years. I don't need your program. It's too beginner. If you're not making sales every single day and you are not making 4-figure months, you need my program. My program is not a beginner program. Can it work for beginners? Absolutely. You can start from the very beginning and scratch and start your store and build it. But the bulk of the content is how to optimize your store for sales. That is what I'm teaching. And so I would highly recommend getting into my program, seeing how to optimize your resources so that by that site-wide sale, they are all ready to go. So maybe in October and November, you spend those 2 months, instead of focusing on new products, it's okay to take a break from that, especially if you have a bunch of products that are already uploaded, and just optimize all of your old products. I think that would be a great use of your time, honestly. So it's up to you how you want to do that, but make sure your covers are really eye-catching. Make sure you have all 3 thumbnails. Make sure you have a preview for every single product other than free products. Make sure your descriptions are SEO optimized. Make sure your titles are SEO optimized. Make sure you are working on bundles. Make sure you have product lines. Make sure your categories are all organized. There's so many things to make sure your store is optimized. Again, if you want to get into my program, the Resource Academy, I do have a free training that tells you all about it. It's lindsaybowden.com/training. It will also give you 50% off my program. So highly recommend you take that. Now, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, those are also kind of like separate holidays. And sometimes the site-wide sale corresponds to that. Sometimes it doesn't. But you could, if you have an email list or a way to market, you could kind of throw your own Black Friday sale, like maybe a one-day thing, or maybe you have like a flash sale of something. I feel like the holiday season, people are buying. They want to buy stuff. It's just the season to buy. So having some kind of flash sale, even if it's not Black Friday, even if it's like early November or mid-December, having a flash sale and having a way to contact your customers, I think is a great idea. And that leads me into my last step, which is if you already have a store, you feel like your products are optimized, maybe you're already making 4 figures a month. What should you be doing in Q4? Well, you should look at your data, and there's always tweaks you can make, I think, to optimize. You can always add new products. But the number one thing I would do is start an email list, because you cannot really get in contact with your customers in a great way with Teachers Pay Teachers. There's only the note to followers, which in my opinion is not a great use of your time. I think emailing them is such a better use of your time. So I do have a course about starting an email list. specifically for Teachers Pay Teachers, but it is only for those who have a store, you've made sales. It's not for newbies, okay? So we will put that link below as well. And there's one more thing I wanted to share with you. I do also have a TPT planner. So if you like to like print stuff out and write it down, we have a planner specifically for TPT where you can make like product goals, and you can make, you can write down your stats. So many really cool pages, and it has really cool covers, planner cover. Sorry, that was really hard to get out. That you can choose from. It's in Canva, so you can edit it. It's just a really great product. We will also put that in the show notes. I hope you have a wonderful Q4. And lastly, I just want to leave you with Q4 is the time to slow down and rest and spend time with those who matter most. So make sure you schedule some time in your calendar for that. Don't work the whole holiday break. Work will always be there. Family might not always be there. So take time, spend time with your family. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.